All right, as so many people continue to worry over the cost of groceries and other essentials, major retailers warn more price hikes are coming for pantry staples. That sticker shock warning comes as nearly half of Americans say the cost of groceries is a major source of stress right now. 33% saying it's a minor source of stress. This is a poll from the Associated Press. Patrick Thomas covers agriculture and the food supply chain for the Wall Street Journal, and he joins us now from Chicago with more on this. I think so many of our viewers, Patrick, will understand that source of stress in their lives, but why do retailers say specifically that this is happening now? What's the reason?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is one of the first glimpses of how President Trump's trade policy is starting to work its way really through the supply chain to trickle down to some American shoppers. I mean, retailers thus far have talked about how they've been able to manage cost increase and haven't passed it along to consumers, or that they have been able to buy enough before the tariffs went into effect, where they basically had stockpiles of goods. I think we're starting to reach a place now where companies are telling us in their earnings calls and in statements, they're starting to say that it is that they have to pass it along to consumers. Best Buy recently said that their vendors are clearly communicating cost increases, and that's starting to work its way to the consumer. We're also seeing prices for things like consumer goods such as coffee and orange juice, more agriculture products that would come from Brazil, which was also hit by tariffs. That is also starting to have a more immediate effect, as well as some produce items as well. Vegetables, nuts, for example, are things that are also feeling those price increases. And then you have some other goods such as beef and pork for different reasons that are also up in price right now.
And so just fact check that for us, Patrick, because these retailers are saying that price increases are coming because they have increased costs. But earlier this year, I remember some companies being criticized for preemptively raising costs. A lot of customers noticed that prices had already started to inch up. So how will this impact people watching? Will they see prices continue to creep up, or are they already, too high for a lot of folks?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good point. And retailers to this point have really not tried to pass along these cost increases. And I think these are things, it's still hard to tell how exactly this will shape out. But companies are telling us that they do have to start passing some of these along after really holding the line for a while. There's also some cost increases that aren't tariff related that they are passing along right now. Beef, for example, we're at the lowest cattle supply since 1951. That has really driven up beef prices to all-time high. Pork prices are higher right now after reduced slaughter, after years of a glut for that market. So those are some things also driving different cost increases outside of tariffs that we're seeing immediately that consumers are going to feel right now and will continue to feel for the foreseeable future. But retailers have held the lines. I think we're starting to see some, like Ace Hardware, for example, they're communicating that they can no longer hold the line and they will have to pass some of these along to customers.
Wow. Things are already tight for so many folks. Save those pennies. Patrick Thomas, thanks for joining us.
Thanks so much for having me.